Good afternoon, Dr. Gary here. Dr. Gary on the road. We sell dental practices nationwide. And today's topic is 2 questions a seller should always say no to whenever a buyer asks. We're going to get into that. Anyway, so moving along, we now have 10 employees. We're involved in 24 states. We just got back from Utah. The information you're hearing is only for entertainment purposes only. And you should always speak to your professional attorneys and accountants for that information. We're available to you 363 days a year. We take off Christmas and Easter. And we're now answering the phone every day from 7:30 a.m. East Coast time to 9:30 p.m. East Coast time. So we are there for you. Just call us. Our phone number is 201-663-0935. 201-663-0935. Please call us. We'll be happy to chat with you. So today's topic, as we discussed, are these 2 questions a seller of a dental office should always say no to if the buyer asks. Constantly just say no. All right? And what those questions are the following. If a buyer says, will you finance the sale of a dental practice? Under 99% of the time, the answer should be no. You as a seller should not be financing any of the dental. And the reason why is because banks are financing at 100% for the dental office, 80% for the dental building. All right, and sometimes they do higher percentage for the building itself because they can manipulate the numbers a little bit between the practice and the sale of the building. So, but most of the time, always say no. The banks are there for you. You don't want to hold anybody's paper. Now, the only time exception to that may be when the buyer is buying the building and the practice, and the buyer doesn't have the 20% down payment that he needs for the building. Maybe under those circumstances, maybe he has 15% or 10%. Maybe the seller would take back a second mortgage, a partial second mortgage, very small, on the building itself. And pretty much even now, you should not do it. We don't find it works out. Now, the second question buyers historically ask is, and this is why we like to be present when we bring a buyer rather than just sending the buyer on a visit. When the buyer asks, can I work here before we sell the practice, before I buy the practice? Historically speaking, once again, you as a seller, answer should be respectfully no. The reason why is you're trying to sell your practice. And we don't know if he's going to or she is going to buy it anyway. You're going to have them working in your practice when we're bringing prospective buyers in, and they ask, who's that? And, oh, he's just testing out the waters? No. And also, not only that, what if your buyer doesn't get along with the staff? The buyer turns out to be a prospective seller. The buyer, prospective one, that he will buy it. Well, he's interacting with your staff. What if he starts dating a staff member, hygienist or assistant, and they don't get along? And one of them winds up quitting? No. You don't want him disrupting it. And you also don't need a partner. All right? I'm not a firm believer in dental partners at all. And I don't think you need one. So it's something I believe you should stay away from. But more so, you don't want to work at the practice before you buy it. Now, what you can, as far as a seller, you don't want that to happen. As far as a buyer, yeah, it's great. But no, as a seller, you don't want that. But what you can do as a seller to give the buyer a little bit feeling of comfort, what you can do is tell the buyer, look, you could do one half day of observation to see how our place runs. And that's not too bad. You're just mirroring over your shoulder. That has some precautions to it, but still, you can ask if you want to do a half day, they'll do a half day. And that's about it. No more than half day once. And they can come in. But those 2 questions are important. They can't work there before they buy the practice. And no, you're not going to finance for them. Most of your answers should be no whenever they ask that. All right? So remember those 2 things. It's important. All right, so here we are, freezing in New Jersey. God, it's so freaking cold. It's 24 degrees. I'm getting out of here. Next year, I'll be, I think I'll be broadcasting from, what is that? I like Boca Raton. I like Key West. I just came back from both of those. But hopefully I'll be broadcasting from them on a fishing boat or something. But it's so cold here. Anyway, remember, if you're selling to a DSO, we can help you pick and choose one of the best ones. They will pay our commission, and often, based on certain circumstances, we might be able to get your all legal fees reimbursed upon closing. And we've done this before, so give us a call. Great talking to you. Off we go to the Arctic tundra cold as we go to the 24 degrees here in Jersey. All right, bye.